So hello, Kuldeep.
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming to talk today, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to ask you lots of questions. First of all, the obvious one, what is your name?
My name is Kuldeep.
Kuldeep
Kuldeep Sira.
Sira. And where do you come from?
I come from Kenya, Nairobi.
Yes. And how old are you?
I'm 74.
74. So am I. It's a very good age, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is. Yeah.
So, can you tell us something about the city or the part of the city where you grew up, your home and your family?
I grew up in Nairobi in the town center. My granddad used to have a very big house, and we used to live with him, with my mom and dad and my brother and sisters. Yeah.
Was he an important person in your life, your grandfather?
Yes, he was. He was very generous. He was very, very polite and nice, and he used to be a very nice person in our community. He was very nice person, and then also he used to be president of our temple.
So the whole family were Sikh?
Yes, they were all Sikhs.
And they'd been Sikhs in India for generations?
Yes.
Tell me a bit about the traditions and customs in your family. I mean, you were observant Sikhs in that family, were you?
Not very strict. My dad used to be in the army, and he was friendly with everybody, so we used to have all sorts of people coming and going, and they used to be socializing with them. So
what form did that socializing take?
Socializing means that they used to have drinks and food was served, all types of,
entertaining. We get a picture of a good situation, but what made you think that situation was going to change?
It was the independence, and because there were lots of things happening in other countries, we were just afraid that we might have the same problems like other 3 countries, like Uganda and Tanzania. And so we had children growing up, so we said we were just worried. But we were very lucky at the same time. The teachers received letters saying, if we are thinking of Africanizing the post, if anybody wants to change their profession or they want to go somewhere else.
My understanding is that there was an offer to become African, and most of the Asians decided not to do that.
Yes, they did, yeah.
But could you say something about, I think you actually saw the refugees, the Asian refugees from Idi Amin's Uganda.
Yes, we did, yeah.
What did you see?
What we used to have lots of stories when this was happening. It was really, really panic everywhere. But what happened was he expelled Asian people first, and then when the Asian people came, we used to have lots of sad stories, and then we used to hear there were trains coming up on Nairobi railway station, and there were people who were without shoes and without, like they never changed their clothes for 3 or 4 days. They didn't have anything to eat. They didn't have any money on them. All the things were taken away from them. Some of them just left their house and they just got on the trains and came. In Nairobi, when the train came, the Sikh temples, they cooked food and took food for them. Some of them collected clothes, shoes for them, and then they gave them shoes. Some of them gave them money, and then because Kenya was British colony and there was lots of British presence there, they were helped by British people with their travel documents, with their tickets and everything to come up here because they were all British citizens.
So you looked at that and that made you feel uneasy about the future?
Yeah, we thought that we don't know what's going to happen in the future because there was a rumor, just a rumor saying there are some people who said we are going to get back to them, we are going to take revenge because some of them say they were treated very badly.
Yes. So how long after that? That was in the 70s, wasn't it? In 74 onwards, I think. And in 1976, you came from Kenya.
Yeah. My husband came one day, he said, we've had letters and I heard that the government wants us Africanize the post, because there were lots of posts they were trying to put local people there because it was their country now. My father-in-law said, go to UK with the family, and they will then follow us later on.
Was that the first time you'd been overseas?
No. I have been here in 1971. I came here for a holiday.
Oh,
With my
really?
husband, yeah.
To stay with family?
Yeah,
and-
we stayed with the family.
And did you form a good impression of the UK at that time?
Yes, yeah, it was okay, but when I came here, I found the roads too narrow
Mm.
because in Kenya the roads are quite big and we have dual carriageways.
What did you bring with you? Did you bring special things to remind you of home, or
No, I didn't. No, I didn't bring anything.
you brought very little with you? Mm.
We just gave everything away, like beddings and everything we used to have.
So when you travelled over, it was you and your husband and 3 children?
Yes, yes.
Yes, because the last daughter, the last
Yeah.
child was born much later,
Yeah,
wasn't
my
she?
husband's eldest son, he was already here, so we traveled with 2 children.
I see. And so you've already said that your impression of the host country was that it was all cramped and it all the same and rather grey, rather cold. What were your hopes and what were your fears when you came here? What?
I didn't have any fears,
Mm.
and I had this feeling that because we could get a job here, my husband was educated, he knew that he's going to get a job. And I started at the same time. My brother-in-law said, I'm the manager, come and be assistant.
I suppose if you were working in a shop, you met a lot of people.
Yes, I did, yeah.
And there was a big Punjabi-speaking community
Yes, there was,
in the area. This was in Plumstead or Woolwich? Or?
Yes, Herbert Road.
Did you get to meet some neighbours there and get to know local
Yes.
people?
Yeah, we used to get, our neighbor was very nice lady.
Mm. So you didn't ask for any state aid or you didn't
No, we
need
didn't.
any
Never,
support?
yeah,
No.
never claimed any benefits. Or
And the paperwork was an absolute minimum?
yes, yeah.
Yes. And there were no language barriers because you spoke
We
English?
spoke English, yeah. I didn't have
Yes.
any language barrier.
Did most of the Punjabi community speak English? Or?
No,
Yeah.
no, not most of them.
So did you find yourself helping other people from quite
Yes,
an
I
early
have
stage?
helped interpret. When I used to work, I used to interpret for lots of men who used to come to the tax office asking about their tax calculations.
So the children grew up here
Yes, they did, yeah.
speaking English?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
But they kept their Punjabi? Or?
No, they can speak Punjabi. My husband's children, my stepchildren, they can speak Punjabi. But mostly we talk in English.
Yeah. Is there something that you miss from your home country?
Not really.
No.
I don't miss anything, yeah.
You do go back sometimes,
Yes,
don't
I
you?
do. I have been there on weddings and funerals.
And what's your feeling about it when you go back there?
I get, it's the same thing, like I remember all the nice shops and very nice weather. What I need, it's very overcrowded now. There's so many buildings going on. If people had a garden, they build a property there. It's all overcrowded.
What do you think are the biggest differences that would apply between being in this country and being back in?
Yeah, you know what, here when we came here, we started work, we were paying for our pensions and national insurance and everything. We don't have to pay, like when we retire, we have get lots of benefits, like we don't have to pay for our medicine, we get bus passes. In Kenya, you don't get anything. If you retire, if you haven't got income, you're nowhere.
What do you think about what's happening in the country at the moment? This is the week of the European elections and so on. What's your view been about what's happening with Brexit and so on?
I don't understand this Brexit to start with. And second thing, you know, when a few years ago when everybody was allowed to come here without any visas, like from Europe, I mean, the government should have thought thoroughly about people coming, because I used to work in the tax office and there used to be tax credit, child tax credit, working tax credit.
But are you confused about what to vote on Thursday, or will you vote on Thursday?
I have voted, but you know what? I don't understand politics. This Brexit, actually, it's been going on and on and on, and they're all arguing. What I say is, first of all, Theresa, I think she is a very tough lady. She's very courageous, standing up in all those men, talking about it. It's a very hard job for a woman to be there.
And you will stay here for the rest of your life.
Yes, I will,
A strange question, but what are your dreams and your hopes for the future?
I just dream that the government does benefit system is in a mess. When we used to do, so many good things used to happen, but I don't know what they're doing. The benefit system is in a mess. Everybody is confused. I wish everything was in order and everything is online, you know. And some people don't have computers at home, like older generation. They don't know how to use the computers.
In fact, we were talking before the interview began about your role in the Sikh temple, and I realized when I went there it's very important. Perhaps you could just say about what you do there and why you do it.
Okay. I like volunteering and helping out because that's my nature from the childhood. I like helping people. In the tax office, I used to go do my job as well as used to do a little bit more. So I used to put a little bit more effort for helping people. Then in the temple, people come and ask me questions and I try to help them.
Is there anything else you'd like? It's such a lovely interview and really grateful to you. It's wonderful.
My pleasure.